Today we are going to look at a way or a method of factoring a quadratic equation where the leading coefficient is not 1. And the quadratic equation is in standard form, ax squared plus bx plus c. And in this case, a is equal to 2. So the way we start out with this is, first of all, we have to change our equation. So the first step is to make a change. And the way we're going to change it is we're going to drop off the leading coefficient of 2, and we're just going to write it as x squared plus 13x. But to get our constant, we are going to multiply a times c to get our constant. So in this case, we're going to multiply 2 times 15, which is going to give us a plus 30. All right. Once we have that, then we must look at the factors of 30 in order to help us factor our new equation that we have come up with. So we're going to look at the factors of 30, and we're going to look at all the factors. So the first set of factors for 30 are 30 and 1. Another set of factors for 30 are 2 and 15. Another set of factors are going to be 6 and 5. And then one other set of factors that we haven't considered is 3 and 10. So now that we have our factors, we look at the various sums, and our goal is to find the factors whose sum is our middle term, 13. So if we add 30 and 1, that's going to give us 31. That's not what we're looking for. If we add 2 and 15, that gives us 17. Still not there. If we add 6 and 5, that gives us 11. Still not our factors. But if we add 3 and 10, that gives us the sum that we are looking for, 13. So these are our factors. So now we're going to, our second step is we're going to factor our new equation. So if we factor it, we're going to factor it into two binomials. The factors of x squared, of course, are x and x. And then the factors of 30 we've already found here, which are plus 3 and plus 10. Now remember, this is the factors of our new equation. Our goal is still to factor the original equation that we started with. So our next step is we have to bring our factors that we got back over, and we have to fix it now and get it back to the original that we started with. And the way we do that is we take our two factors, x plus 3 and x plus 10, are two binomials, and we have to divide each constant part of that by our leading coefficient that we started out with 2. So we have to divide x plus 3 and divide the 3 by 2. And then the x plus 10, we have to divide the 10 by 2, which we get from here. Then we look at each of these terms and see if we can reduce. The 3 divided by 2 we can't reduce, so then we do a technique called under-over, where we move that over in front with the x term, so we write it as 2x plus 3. And then we look at the second term. This one we can reduce because 10 is divisible by 2, so 10 divided by 2 is going to be 5. So the other factor is going to be x plus 5. All right, now, once we have our factors, that is the factors of our original equation. And we can verify that by using what's called the window method to multiply those back out. In the window method, we take the first binomial, 2x and 3, and the second binomial, x and 5. And if you've had a science class before, you remember this is similar to a process you did called Punnett squares, but we call it the window method. We multiply 2x times x gives us 2x squared. 2x times 5 gives us 10x. 3 times x gives us 3x. And then 3 times 5 gives us 15. And then we combine the like terms. Notice we only have one x squared term, so we have 2x squared. And then we have a 3x and 10x. Notice those are diagonal of each other. Those are like terms. We combine those. 3x plus 10x gives us plus 13x. And then we have our constant term plus 15. And then if you compare, you'll notice that is the equation that we started out with. 2x squared plus 13x plus 15.